All right, let's talk about something that trips up so many people in the trucking world: bobtail versus non-trucking liability insurance. Seriously, it's one of the most confusing parts of the business. But if you've ever wondered, am I really covered when I'm not pulling a load? Well, you're in the right place, because we're about to make it all make sense. So let's just jump right in with a huge question for every owner-operator out there. I want you to picture it. You just dropped your trailer, you're officially done for the day, and you're driving your rig. If you get into an accident, right now, in this very moment, are you covered? Do you know for sure? And here's the scary part. For a lot of drivers, the answer is a flat-out no. That huge primary liability policy you count on? Yeah, it's probably not doing a thing for you in that moment. And that, my friends, is a massive, massive problem just waiting to happen. This leads us straight into what we call the dangerous coverage gap. Think of it as a hidden trap in your insurance. It's a risk that can put your entire livelihood on the line, and a lot of folks don't even know it exists. Okay, so what is this gap exactly? It's pretty simple, actually. Your main liability insurance, the big one, it's like a light switch. It's on when you're under dispatch for a motor carrier. But the second that job is over, boom, the switch flips off. And if you don't have something else in place, you are completely exposed. And this breaks it down perfectly. Look on the left. Hauling a load, driving to your next pickup. You're working, you're covered. Easy. But check out the right side. Driving home, running to the store for milk, your primary policy is off the clock. It's not going to help you. That right there, that's the gap we're talking about. So how in the world do you protect yourself from this? Thankfully, there's a solution. Actually, there are two of them. Two very specific types of insurance that were literally invented to fill this exact gap and act as your shield when your main policy takes a break. And here they are, your two shields: bobtail insurance and non-trucking liability, which you'll usually hear called NTL. Now, they sound kind of the same, and yeah, they both fill that dangerous gap, but here's the key. They are for totally different situations, and getting them mixed up is a classic mistake. All right, let's get into the nitty-gritty, because this is where it all clicks into place. Understanding the core difference between these two is absolutely essential. It's all about choosing the right tool for the job. Okay, if you get one thing from this whole explainer, let it be this slide. It all comes down to equipment versus purpose. For bobtail insurance, all that matters is your equipment. The only question is, are you pulling a trailer? If the answer is no, bobtail can kick in, even if you're still on a business-related trip. But for NTL, it's all about your purpose. The only question is, are you driving for personal reasons? If the answer is yes, that's what NTL is for. Theory is great, but let's see how this stuff actually works out on the road. Let's run through a few real-world scenarios and put your new knowledge to the test. All right, scenario number 1. You just made your delivery, you've unhitched the trailer, and now you're driving your tractor, you're bobtailing, over to the next yard to grab your next load. So think about it. You're still working, technically, but you've got no trailer. What insurance is protecting you right now? Yep, you're covered by bobtail insurance. This is the textbook case for it. Your purpose is still business, but what matters here is your equipment. You have no trailer attached. Your primary insurance is off, but your bobtail policy steps right in to cover you. Okay, let's try another one. It's the end of a long week, you're completely off the clock, and you're driving your truck home for a well-deserved weekend off. So what's the play here? Your reason for driving has totally changed. It's not about work anymore. What's protecting you now? You got it. This is a clear-cut case for non-trucking liability. The purpose of your trip is personal. You're not under dispatch, you're on your own time. NTL was made for this exact moment. Now, let's talk about the scenario that keeps people up at night, the danger zone. You're in one of those first two situations, driving between loads or heading home. But you thought, hey, I can save a few bucks a month, and you didn't buy either policy. And then, bam, an accident happens. The result? It's catastrophic. It's a total financial nightmare. With no coverage, you are personally on the hook for every single dollar of damage, medical bills, legal fees, everything. We're talking about the kind of event that can wipe out a business and a lifetime of savings in an instant. So this really brings us to the bottom line, choosing your coverage. And as you've just seen, the stakes couldn't be higher. This is absolutely not the place you want to be cutting corners. And I mean, when you look at it like this, it's just a no-brainer. On one side, you have the risk of a single accident, which could easily cost you 6 figures or more. On the other side, you have the solution, a monthly premium that often costs less than taking your family out to dinner. The choice is just so incredibly clear. So, what do you do right now and make sure you're safe? It's a really simple 3-step process. First, just know your own business. Are you driving without a trailer for work? Are you using your truck for personal stuff? Second, go read your lease agreement with your motor carrier. A lot of the time, they'll straight up tell you what coverage you're required to have. And third, and this is so important, talk to an insurance agent who actually specializes in trucking. You don't want a generalist for this. You need an expert who lives and breathes this stuff. Look, if you forget everything else, just burn these 3 things into your brain. Your primary liability is for when you're under dispatch working. NTL is for your personal time only. And Bobtail is for when you're driving with no trailer, even if it's for work. Knowing those 3 situations is what keeps you out of trouble. And I really want to leave you with this final thought. Please don't think of these policies as optional add-ons. They're not. They are the critical piece of armor that protects you when your main policy shuts off. Because in the world of trucking, that little gap in coverage, well, that gap can cost you absolutely everything. Drive safe out there and please, make sure you're covered.